Oh, there you have it. Let's. Oh, hang on. Okay. Just adjusting the music, the background music. Kia ora, everyone, and welcome back to Settle, Shine, and Succeed in New Zealand. I'm Juvy, and with me shortly is my wonderful co host. I'll be introducing her again when she turns up. I'm pretty sure she's quite a bit tight with her time. Anyway, it's been a long time. I think around 2 months since we've seen each other again. And this is another special topic that we're going to talk about. By the way, just a heads up as to what's going on at school. This is week 8 already. So we have week 9 and week 10 to go. And it's school holiday. I can't wait. If I don't know if you have noticed my voice, I've been having sore throats and flu, a little bit of flu, cough, 4 weeks already, 2 weeks ago. So I think this is my third week of having it. And I still remember my first flu in New Zealand 11 years ago. Jeez. Oh, I think that was 10 years ago. It was horrible because I had for almost six weeks or almost 2 months, I think. Anyway, going back to our topic, it's another good discussion, especially to new immigrants here in New Zealand. We will be talking about racing. Let me have that banner up here, as this podcast is about settling and shining and succeeding in New Zealand, especially if you're first timer here in New Zealand, your first 2-3 years. There's a lot of things to learn about how to live your life here, raising your family, especially raising kids in Aotearoa. The parenting style is different than in our home country if you're coming from the Philippines. And if you're from India or other parts of the world, it's definitely different as well. So this Settle, Shine, Succeed is actually a roadmap to a roadmap for migrants in New Zealand. So stay tuned and let us know where you're watching us from. Feel free to ask us about racing kids here in New Zealand. If you have some recent experiences as well, we would love to hear from you. We would love to share your stories, your experiences that will definitely educate, if not teach, other parents as well, or other kids if they are listening, right? So that's our focus tonight. And as we're just waiting for my co host and also our guest today, we will have a guest who will be joining us. And just giving you a heads up now, we have the guest turning up already. She is half Kiwi and half Filipino, but she grew up in the Philippines. She started her family in the Philippines. Then she brought her family over to New Zealand here. So basically, her background is Philippines. And now that she's raising her kids, well, technically, her kids have grown up. We will learn more about how she managed to change her parenting style, or was there even a change in the parenting style? And also the things, I reckon, the things that she has to adjust in raising her kids, plus the fact that she's also a Christian. So are there also challenges? Well, I myself, I'm a parent as well, but we would love to hear other people's experiences because it's definitely different. So then now I'm going to share or introduce to you our resource speaker, I would say, my church mate. And since we've met each other, they become our family friends as well. So it's good to have friends who are a little bit older than you or even way older than you, because they will be sharing a lot of experiences that you can definitely learn from. And that's why I've approached this person. And let's welcome, even though my co-host is not yet here, she's definitely busy doing coaching, but she will be joining us, fingers crossed, shortly. Let's welcome my friend. And oops, make a guess first. What do you think is her work? This is what we call the popular work or job of a Filipino in New Zealand. As anyone would like to guess? She's, of course, a nurse here in New Zealand. So let's have Angel. Angela? Angel?
Angela,
Angela.
Angel, just don't
Because
call me hungry.
why
Just
was
don't.
that? How are you
Can you?
tonight?
Um, I'm doing okay. I'm doing
Um,
fine. Just getting the bug off of me. So yeah, I'm all good.
good to hear. Well, I'm not 100% well at the moment, but life must go on and the show must go on.
Mm,
Foremost, thank you so much for spending this time with us, sharing your expertise, your knowledge, because we will be talking about raising kids, especially that you have three boys.
mm.
And when you move here, they were around how old?
The eldest was 6. The second one was, oh, hold on. No, he was 5. The eldest was 5. The second was 4. And the third was 2 years old.
All right. And now, how old are they?
25, 24, and 22.
20 years ago, in other words.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Wow. So, talking about having that experience from the Philippines, how did you raise them in the Philippines? And then in New Zealand, what were the changes that you have to adapt?
Um, wow. You see, back in the Philippines, my husband and his family, um, they had they have this business, so it's he has to give 100% of his time at work, and
Mm,
then he would come home because my older two boys started school when they were uh 4, no, 3 and 2.
like nursery, kinder.
Nursery, yeah, nursery. So
Wow.
they started, yeah, in a private school. So yeah, the only time that they could see their dad is in the
Sunday.
morning.
Oh, morning
In
and
the
night.
morning, then leave, and then he'll pick us up, bring to school, and then afternoon drop us off at home, and then back again at work. And then by the time he comes home, the boys are still awake at around 10, 11 o'clock. So we decided, I said, look, it's not quite healthy anymore
Not a
that
well
they
balanced
only,
life, in other
nah,
words.
yeah. And even Saturdays, he goes to work. Yeah.
It's work, work, work.
It's tough, yeah. And even on Sundays, sometimes he's needed. Oh, we've got problems. Can you
Yeah.
come? Sometimes, yeah. So it's more of divided time. So when we decided to come here, at first he said only 1 month.
Oh,
Then he said, yeah, only 1 month. I said, well, I'm sorry. When we came here, I said, well, I'm sorry. You know, it's more of um, deciding to have a family. We decided to have a family, but we cannot have like half and half, work, and the kids rarely see him.
so when you move here, there's a change in the family
There,
time because
yes, the family
you have.
dynamics, the family time, we've got more family time. So when it says 8 hours, 8 hours home,
Oh, that's because you don't have business anymore. He let go of
no,
that business back in the
yeah,
Philippines.
yeah, mm-mm,
Okay. Yeah, it's not easy to have business. Hey, a lot of people
no,
envy those people who are businessmen, but they don't actually realize the sacrifices you have to make, like
yeah,
what your husband
mm-mm, yeah,
experienced.
yeah,
Uh,
that's right. So when we came here, So we had more time with the boys. So Saturdays, they're in rugby.
Ah, yeah. Because
Yeah,
here in New Zealand, sports is a number one
it
thing.
is.
Definitely.
It is.
I think
Yeah.
I would say academic is just second. Kids are really into sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, more to the performances. And the Philippines were more on performances. I
Yes.
don't know.
There.
Mine is my
No,
personal
that's true.
opinion.
No, that's true. You spend more time on performances than sometimes academic.
Mm, and the
Mm,
sports are even being neglected. But here,
here.
it's well provided and the kids are
It,
greatly encouraged. Now,
yeah.
one thing that I've noticed with a lot of parents who move to New Zealand, they spend extra time because after the school hours back then, it's still the same up to now, right?
Yes. Yes.
9 till 3. When
Nine
you
to three, and
Mhm.
then actually my boys were so engaged in sports. My eldest son was in rugby, and then my two other boys are in basketball.
Mm. So how did you find the New Zealand education system when you move here? Because in the Philippines, we started so early and finished late. It's so tiring
Yes.
academically.
Yes.
When
Oh
you move here,
yes.
uh,
Mm,
it's just 9 to 3, although they're saying it's 9 to 3. For me as a teacher, there's not enough time to teach the academic aspect. But
mm.
what about you as a parent? Because you need to to work around your job within that time so you can drop them off and pick them up. That's, I think, one thing that.
Actually, what I'm grateful for when we were here, because we just live right across the school. So
All right, that's really
yes,
a good thing.
in primary, we live right across the school, or just nearby, just probably a block away. So that's a plus for us. That's a plus for us. So we don't necessarily have to, like, rush everything just to get them to school. Actually, they're always late. So they were always late. But anyway, not necessarily, but um in terms of the education system, it's kind of laid back for us. We were kind of shocked how things are being taught here. Not unlike you with us in the Philippines, like children, students sit and the
You've
teacher
s-
teach,
yeah,
right?
yeah, you've seen the classroom setting.
Yes, the setting is so different. And then when they come home, they've got tons, and I would say tons of assignments. So you have to sit down with them.
In the Philippines.
Yeah. Well, my children were all enrolled in a Chinese school back home. So the the um, what do you call this? The mode of communication is either English or Chinese. So you only have two choices. Filipino, no, we don't. They don't talk in
Teach.
Filipino, or
uh,
they know how. They know how
mhm.
to speak Tagalog. They know how to speak Ilonggo, but
They don't
at
use.
school, it's English or Chinese. That's about it.
Wow.
So when they come home, they've got assignments in English, they've got assignments in Chinese. Yeah. And here, it's totally different. Even my two older boys were saying they don't have books here. The only
We
books
do.
that they have are the books that they read over and over and
Yeah.
over and over again. And probably what I'm also thankful for here are the libraries. Uh, so we got the boys their library cards, and then once a month we would borrow around 30 books to read the whole month.
Wow. Wow.
Yes,
So they are into reading.
they're into reading. They're into reading, and they love to read.
That's great. And
Then,
that's something I greatly appreciate here among Kiwis. They really instill in the young minds that we need to love reading. And they,
yeah,
they
yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah. And I think it's also important. Even with technology nowadays, I think reading books is really important. Yeah.
Agree. So, of course, one of your observations were like no homeworks, no books. So it's hard for you to follow up what they're learning at school. Because me,
Exactly.
in my class, in our school, we are actually encouraged to give homework. So I give my kids now a homework for the whole week, just for the parents to have an idea what we're doing at school.
Mm.
We have books in class, but we keep them in class because in so many cases when we send them back home, they won't come
Doesn't
back.
come back.
So
Exactly. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
why we're keeping them. And
Mm-mm.
the teacher and parent relationship, because back in the Philippines, ano nga ba ang relationship? I don't know.
I
And
had
compare.
I had a really we had a really good relationship with our voices teachers back in the Philippines. At least we keep track of what they are at school. Uh,
But
Here,
here, yeah,
um, yes,
not so.
we do.
We do.
No, I do. I do make sure that because I do pick them up at school. They cannot go out from school by themselves. So I have to pick them up inside, and then I do introduce myself to the teachers. And feedback wise, whatever feedback that I can hear from my children, I do what do you call this? I do let them hear. And I said, "Oh, my son is asking why isn't he was given a hard book? He wanted to read more, but he couldn't get any hard books here." Yeah, and then of course the teacher would always say, "Oh, because we wanted to see their levels, how they understand the what they're reading. It's more of reading and comprehension." Here in New Zealand. So, which I do understand, but as a parent, we're not just stuck on that and stuck on what they're given here at school. So, like what I say, we go to the library, we borrow books, and if in 1 week they finish that book, we put it back, bring it back, and borrow some more. So it all depends on how fast they read the books and or how they understand the book they're
So that's
reading.
you're actually doing a good thing because I myself was not so good bringing my kids to the library. So I'd say, honestly, say that they are not into reading because back
Mm,
in the Philippines, we don't really have a good library where you can pick
oh
books
yeah.
in. We're
Mm-mm.
not really loving to read because I find the books boring back home. Sorry to say that.
No, 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 that's true. No, that's true. Because we don't have libraries in which we can,
I
borrow
think we
books
do, but
from.
it's not much. There's not much
It's
resources.
not much. It's not
And
much.
the books are
And
so
if
obsolete.
Yeah, and if you're just going to rely from the books at school, wala.
No,
If you're not if you're
exactly.
not if you're not from a private school, then you don't get
Yeah.
to borrow books that are really good,
So
'di
it's good that you've mentioned that we, as parents here, especially if our kids are very young, we got to bring them to the library. It's free.
Mm,
Borrowing books are also free.
yeah.
Are there also fees when you return them late?
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Actually, you can borrow 30 books for 30 days. Oh,
okay.
if I'm not mistaken, 30 or 20 books for 30 days.
Yeah. And even because in our school, we also provide library cards for the kids that they can
Mm,
use to the local libraries.
mm-mm.
So
Yeah.
I think for parents who are listening right now, reach out to the school or just directly contact or go visit a local library. And it
Mm-mm.
is really a good habit to bring the kids there so that they learn to love reading. And the books there are really magnificent. Kids love
Yeah.
libraries,
Yeah. They're
even
really
my.
good.
But moving on to parenting styles, did you change your approaches in? in disciplining your kids when you were still in the Philippines and now that you're here in the Philippines in New Zealand?
No,
Okay,
I
because you know
didn't.
how strict we are. You know, did you
Yeah,
did you
yeah,
smack your kids when they were young, and did
yes.
you smack them when they were still here, when they moved here?
Guilty, guilty as charged. Yes, yes, yes. But it's not. Okay. I don't smack my kids just because. I give them what you can say a hiding because they did something wrong. But I just don't smack them
For no
because
reason.
every time they do something wrong, I just smack them. No, it's not. It's more of it's the intensity of what they have done.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
And then they know right away that if they do it again or if they do something else that is not, you know,
Not
not good,
acceptable.
not
Okay.
acceptable, then they know. It's not all the time.
Yeah.
It's not all the time. I think there was one time, I'm not going to tell the story, but they've done something that is so wrong,
Mm.
really wrong. They were like
You
six,
know,
7 years old,
yeah,
7.
they can still be very cheeky around those
And
age.
I go, no, no, I'm not having this. It's all three of them. They
But
conspired to
did
do
it come to
something.
your wow? Did it come to your mind anyway that you know you've got to be careful? Like the back of your head, you're thinking, "Am I going to get into trouble because I smacked the kids?" Because we know the policy here, it can be
Yes,
mistaken
yes,
as an abuse, especially if a
yes,
teacher knows about it. Because kids would
yes,
talk at school.
yes. No,
What?
I told them, yeah, go tell the police, go tell your teachers about it. Because if if the police takes you away from this house, you will never see us again. So I know it's wrong, but uh, what I want them to understand is that I won't do it unless you have done something really, really wrong.
Mm, mm.
Yeah.
You need to have a valid reason for
It
doing it
has
and
to have, yeah.
make them
Not unlike other
understand.
parents, not unlike other parents, just because they don't stand up from where they're sitting down, you're just gonna smack them.
Mm.
No, it's no, no. It's if it's really severe.
Uh, Going back to raising your kids, especially when they are young, because you know how they go to school from 9 to 3, and they have to be supervised when they are younger than 14
Mhm.
years old. So, how was your work-life balance, or how did you go around your work and at the same time looking after your kids, or were you even working at that time?
I wasn't working.
Ah,
It's one sacrifice that we have to make. So when we arrived here, I was the one who was working. Then
oh,
Dennis wasn't. He wasn't working then
he was the one.
because he was waiting for his working visa.
Mm.
So it took somewhere around 3 months. His working visa was approved, and then that was the time when he started working. Then I stayed home.
So one has to stay home.
One has to stay home. Yeah. So actually, it's not 3 months. It took somewhere around um
Around
eight,
less
seven,
than a year.
seven, 7, 8 months
Mm. Found a job.
before he found a job. Yeah, yeah.
So you know how nowadays it's so hard to live your life,
Mm,
especially raising a family with
mm.
only one person in the family working. But back then, well, that was 20 years ago. Was it still easy? Was it easy to raise a family with just one income?
It was. It was.
Wow.
It was. If you could just imagine a three-bedroom house is only $300.
Okay, and how much was the pay a week before, ranging around
The minimum was I think 12, if I'm not
$12?
mistaken.
How much will
twelve
that be?
dollars $12 to $15,
So it's
somewhere
like
around there.
500 net pay a
Yeah,
week.
yeah. But because I'm a New Zealand citizen, I have a benefit.
Ah, yeah. Okay. That's a good thing.
Mm-mm.
When you are on benefit, how do you apply for that? You have to be a New Zealand
Actually,
citizen.
yes, you have to be a New Zealand citizen. But actually rules then were so different from the rules now.
They've changed it now.
So
Okay.
they had changed. And then when they all got their residency, uh, we applied for family tax credit. Before it was child support. No, no, it's
Okay.
not child support. Sorry, sorry, sorry. It's uh, ch- uh, it's like family tax credit, but it's
Mm.
called differently before. I forgot what it was, but it was called differently. It was under WINS then before, and then after that, it was moved to IRD, family tax credit. So each of them got like $80 a week.
Oh, well, that's a big help because,
It was a big help. It was huge.
what about the cost of living, especially the food? I think the food prices back then were so cheap. That was even
Prices,
10 years
yes,
ago.
yeah.
Oh, my geez.
10 kilos. The 10 kilo pack of rice was only like $10.
Oh, no. Nowadays,
And
it's
then
just
and
not
then
bad.
and then your kilo of beef then
Mm,
was only like $5.
wow.
So
Now, it's
it's a
almost
big,
double.
it's huge. It's a huge difference. And then bread is like 50 cents.
So, in other words, when you move here, it's like a dream come true. More family time, and then you're able to keep up with the finances because of the benefits that you got. Plus, the
Mm,
cost of living was still cheap back then.
mm,
And even if your husband was the only one working, because you have to keep an eye on the kids, you cannot leave them when they are at
no,
home when they are less than
no.
14 years old, right?
Yes, that's right. That's correct.
Talking about the behavior of the kids, because I've noticed that with my kids, especially with Laika, the youngest
Yes.
son, who's probably listening. Uh, there was a change in her tone of speaking later on, like after 2 or 3 years, or I think after a year, she tends to, we call it talking back. Did you experience that as well from your kids?
No.
Oh, good on you. I think something wrong
Some
with parenting.
sometimes. But we do call them out and say, you don't talk back. But
Mm,
but we do allow them
to voice that.
to voice out.
Okay.
If you think it's not right, you tell us.
Mm.
Because like for me alone, my experience, it's like I grew up. You know us. We cannot talk back to our parents, or else we get a slap in the
Yeah.
or else your face will go around, will turn around, will face the back. Yeah. Um, for us, we do. I do not want my children to grow up thinking that my mother is always right. My mother's always right. I don't have a voice. I'm not.
Mm.
Um, so we do allow them. What do you think? You
Mm.
know,
So you're
oh,
the open communication type of parent.
mm.
Oh,
Because I
that's
don't want them to feel like so restricted.
and
Yeah.
now with their identity, because were you already a Christian back then before you moved to New
Yes,
Zealand, or
yes, yes, we were.
because a lot of Kiwis are actually non-believers.
Mm-mm,
Pacifica are more believers, I would say.
mm-mm. Mm-mm.
When you I don't know how to phrase my sentence, say my sentence well, but was there a change in the way your kids believe in religion?
No.
So they still believe what you
Yes.
believe in, what you instilled in
Yes.
them.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Um, we always instill in them, growing up, you know, even, how in the Philippines, eyes are always on you, when your kids are not behaving well and all that stuff. And I said, it doesn't mean that we're far away from the Philippines. Our values has to change.
Mm,
We still have to carry that on, because I do explain to them. I'm not saying that New Zealand doesn't have any values. They do. We have. It's upon us as parents to instill it into our children, the values that are right.
mm,
So I
yeah.
said, so I told them, I always tell and I always remind them that do not shy away from what we teach you.
Mm,
And if you think it's not right, do tell us and we can communicate. Um, because I so believe, what the Bible said, that train up a child in a way that he should go, that when he grows up, he will not depart from it, which is so right in every sense. Because how do you want your child to grow up? How do you want your children to grow old? It's how the way we teach them. If you don't care, then your children doesn't care either.
yeah. So in other words, you have to model the values that you want your kids to practice. They have
Yes.
to consistently see it in you.
Yes. Yeah.
But what
Yeah.
about this values is different from the culture and traditions that we have, like the manupo.
Mm-mm.
I appreciate
Mm.
those kids, especially just
Mm-mm.
new to the Philippines, when they
Mm-mm.
see fellow Filipinos and they would
Mm-mm.
do the blessing.
Mm-mm.
Do your
Mm-mm.
kids still do that? Because my kids don't anymore, and I'm guilty for
No, they don't. They don't. Because I don't.
yeah.
Because I don't. Growing up, I don't. But
Ah,
it
you don't
doesn't.
do the manupo.
No, 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 no,
Oh, ako,
no.
I
But
would say ako
but
that we do that. We are
yeah,
forced to
yeah,
do that actually, but
yeah, yeah,
I don't know why I
yeah.
didn't instill it in my
It
kids.
uh how would I explain this? Well, my father used to ask me if I can do that to some of his friends,
Oh, because your
to
dad.
show them, yeah, to,
Mm.
the mano and all that stuff. And I go, I don't even do that. Growing up,
Mm.
I don't do that. But it doesn't mean that you don't respect.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think that type of manupo is mostly Tagalog. I don't know, but
Yes,
it's
yes,
a Tagalog
yes.
tradition or culture,
It's
right?
more of a Tagalog tradition.
Pero hindi naman ako Tagalog eh. Bisaya ako, Ilonggo, pero
I
I'm
think
oh,
it's probably because uh how will I explain this? Um it's because it has been passed on already, or I
generation.
would say because you got used to it, so you pass it on to your children. And because I'm I wasn't used of doing it, so I didn't pass it on to them. So if I
Mm.
tell them, oh, show them how mano is, they won't
You
even
know.
do it, but they
Yeah.
know what it is, but they
Okay.
won't do it because I
So
don't do it.
when you have Filipino gathering and the other kids would do the manupo to the elders, do they copy or not? Do they
No.
just shake hands?
They
Shake
just
hands and
say good evening.
yeah. Okay.
It's more of saying hi, hello, good evening. And because as Ilongas don't have po and opo, they don't do po and opo as well.
We're not used to that because yeah, we're both Ilongga by the way.
No, yeah. But in Tagalog, because I was born and raised in Manila, the po and opo is natural, with me.
Mm. Mm.
It's
Mm.
normal for me in conversations if I'm speaking in Tagalog or in Filipino. But if it's in Ilonggo, po and
Nah,
opo doesn't. No,
yeah, yeah.
doesn't exist. No, no.
Anyway, and when they grew up, because by the time they reach now, for my daughter, when she turned 16, the paperworks are ideally required her consent.
Mm,
And then when they turned 18, they considered adults already. You know how Kiwis would, I don't know if this is common to Kiwis, but your dad is a Kiwi. So is it true that they would normally send their kids out of home because they are 18 already? But because we are Filipinos, we still keep them as much as possible under our roof. But in our case, when my son turned 18 and he has work, we actually required him to pay the rent for him to feel that it's not easy to earn money. And when you move out, you're actually spending more than 150 that you contribute to the family. Can you tell us, that kind of, how do you say it, like unwritten rules when
yes.
raising kids?
Actually, I think we're on the same page with that. But I don't require them to move out.
Is it true that Kiwis would turn away or
Mm,
encourage their kids to move out?
probably if my father was alive. Probably if my father was still alive when I
Yeah.
was 18, because he passed away when I was 11.
Oh,
Um, yeah, I was pretty young. But according to him, uh, he did kick out his children.
when they turned 18.
Yes, when they turned 18.
Oh,
Yes, yeah. So you're 18, go find yourself a life. So that's him. Um, for me, I'm not really sure if he was alive when I was 18. I don't know if he's gonna do
kick
that
you
to
out
me,
as well.
kick me out. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. But well, for my children, they're more of like, ooh, uh, they're still
No,
here with us.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
still
You don't
here
want
with
to kick
us.
them out because
Uh,
the strong family ties. So you want to
yeah.
keep them as much as possible.
Yes,
But
yeah, as much as possible. I was thinking the other day, I was like, oh, if they have a family, they're married, they have their children, are they still gonna stay with us? So
I'm also thinking that.
I'm thinking of that, and I go, where am I gonna put them? Where am I gonna, that's
Yeah.
that I was thinking of that, but um now well, when they had their job, well, uh it's only my second one and my youngest have a job. Um, they do give.
Oh, they
We
consider is that a
They do
of course.
contribute. Why we don't have to ask. We don't
Oh,
have
yeah.
to ask, but we do let them understand. Especially my husband. He let them understand. When you live outside, rent your own place or rent your own room,
Mm,
you'll be paying
true.
more than what you're giving us.
Mm,
Here, you're paying for your room. That includes the electricity, your internet. Actually, that's
yeah,
only for the room. You've got free internet. You've got free
true.
water. You've got
Free
free
food.
electricity, free food. And sometimes I do make it as a joke. Oh, my children won't leave the home because they've got free food. Mommy
Yes,
cooks.
true. And they will just come out and eat, not cooking
Yes.
anymore.
Not cooking anymore. Yeah. But yeah, yeah. They do all contribute. Mm-mm.
Because we're just lucky that our kids here, even before they finish education, they can find a job straight away if they want to. So they can
Yes.
technically contribute. In the
Yeah.
Philippines, how old was I before I was able to contribute? Because it's hard to find a job.
Yeah. It's no work, no pay there. Here,
You got a
it's
benefit even without
you've
it.
got benefit. Yeah. You've got you know you. I was thinking the other day how blessed our children are here in New Zealand, because they don't have to, we don't have to to work so hard as parents to pay for their education, because they can, you know,
Mm,
they have student loans, you
mm.
know,
And
study now, pay later.
you don't necessarily need to have a network, although it's still recommended, before your kids can find the job that they want. They can land on any job so
Mm,
long as they will diligently look for one. In the Philippines, you need to know somebody, you need to know many, especially the politicians, before you get to a full-time job and kind of a security of tenure in
mm,
the public.
exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, so overall, is raising a child here, although you haven't mentioned about, oh, because you have benefits anyway, because when you enroll your child to an ECE
Mm-mm.
center, it
Yeah.
costs
Yeah.
very expensive compared
Expen
to moving them.
During in the Philippines, there were in a private school. Here, they go to the local kindergarten. So that's like
Wait,
ten
is that free?
dollars a day.
Oh, that was way back then. $10 a day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's still cheap back then. Nowadays,
Mm-hmm.
it's just hard. And people are just saying living in New Zealand is easy. I think it's easier before your time, 20 years ago. That
Mm-mm.
is
Yeah,
it really easier before or now?
it's easier before, because if you're not working, you get a
Because
benefit, right? You get
if
a
you are
benefit
entitled to it. But if you're on
if
work
you're
visa,
entitled. If you're entitled, but if you have a work visa, it's a whole new different. It's a yeah, yeah.
okay.
It's a whole new different story, because I remember, I do have a friend. Her daughter is one of my son's classmate in kindergarten, and they were in
Work
oh
visa.
they were in work to residence visa.
Mm.
So they only got one daughter, and when they met us, they were looking for someone to look after their daughter. And I said, well, since we're neighbors and your daughter also goes to school
Oh.
with my son, why don't you just drop her off, and then
Ah, yeah,
you can
that's the
drop her off and
struggle.
pick up in the afternoon.
Because if two parents needs to work in order to survive, you will have to spend money to have somebody look after your child before
Exactly.
they go to school. That's
Exactly.
one of the struggles of
Yeah.
immigrants
Yeah.
here.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it is still true before. It's just
Mm.
different in your case because you're entitled to benefits, and that's a big plus. That's a good thing
Yes. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I
Mm-mm.
haven't availed any benefits even up to now. And even my kids cannot avail the student loan even because they're saying, oh, your parents' income is way above. There are restrictions before you avail student loans. I'm not sure, but that's what I've heard from my kids because they check the income of the parents. But oh, to be
Mm-mm.
like if your income goes up you actually get more tax and instead of you getting bigger net pay it's lower than before so a lot of teachers saying I should have just stayed in my old pay because your tax is less.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure, because all I know, both of my boys are on what do you call this, student loan.
Oh good on them but anyway
Yeah.
overall, what's your reflection when you're raising kids here, and what is your advice to new immigrants, especially, and even to those parents who are probably struggling with other issues like teenage issues, hormonal imbalance of teenagers, and I think I'm in facing that challenges now with my teenager, but with the other one, because he's a little bit grown up, so I'm kind of okay that he has this sense of maturity somehow. What is your overall reflection and advice
Okay.
to parents?
First, I think the struggles then and the struggles now are not so far away, or it's not different. It's probably it's how you deal with it. Excuse me. Um, my advice for those parents who are here, Filipino parents, immigrants,
Mm.
do stick with their values. Teach your children the way that you are taught. Um, just don't smack your children. Just tell them off. You know.
That's too hard.
I know. Um, don't stress yourself too hard. You know. Be open. You know. Be open with your children. Let your children open up to you, because tell you honestly, the one thing that every parent struggles is that not knowing what their children are thinking, what their problems are, and what is happening in their lives. You know, when it comes to those things, I'm a mama bear. You know, I don't know. I would say that my children, one way or the other, had endured bullying at school, and I was there. Honestly, uh, I I spoke to teachers. I do everything that you can to let them know that you're not allowing anyone to bully your children or your child. And sometimes, not sometimes, this is all the time. We don't even know that our children are being bullied or they have problems at school. The next thing we know is that your children come home with a black eye or a
Mm.
bump in their head, or you know um, do encourage your children to open up and talk to you, to tell the problems that they have at school, and let them talk. Just don't scold them, oh, because you're like this, or because you're like that, like this and like that, because sometimes they do face a lot of challenges, because they're different from other children. um what else? Don't be afraid to ask for help. That's also one thing, because I'm not just the during our time then, I'm not the only one where people don't just come to me for help, but I also ask for help, because there was also a point where that I needed to work. I cannot have my husband work. We cannot live in one income anymore. So I also have to work. So that's when I ask for help. And thank you to Pastora Gigi, because she stayed with us for such a long time during her hard times, and she helped us as well with the boys, with the kids.
Right.
Yeah. She was there for how she was with us for how many years, and until such time my eldest son turned 14, 15 years old. Then, you know he can already watch over his younger brothers, at
Mm.
home. But yeah, do ask help, do ask for help, because there, one way or the other, there's people who will help you. What else?
It's good that
uh
you've mentioned about asking for help, and I think it's also important that you having people around you that can also impact your kids' life in a positive way.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Exactly. That's right. Yeah. Just don't pick anyone random, you know. But do choose people to be around your kids, because that's also like what you said, it will be a big impact in your children's lives. Yeah. What
Oh.
else? I cannot think anymore, but yeah. Mm-mm.
Right. That's already massive. All the advices and the sharing that you gave is
Mm-mm.
already, I would say, giving new
Mm.
immigrants, parents especially, a
Mm-mm.
picture of
Yeah.
how we're supposed to be raising our kids in New Zealand. Not because we're in a new country, we have to change everything. No, we have
Mm.
to stick to our values, like what you said.
Yeah.
And it's like the people around you will help you form the kind of kids that you would like to have
Exactly.
in the future. Don't
Exactly.
don't just live on your own and then forget about the others because they
Mm-mm.
are still part of your world or your
Mm-mm.
child's world. And
And mind you, the things that you teach your children will impact other people as well,
when they see,
because they see it in your children. Sometimes of course, I'm not raising my own chair, but sometimes I do hear other parents would say, "Oh, your boys are so nice. Oh,
mm,
your boys are so well mannered. Oh, your boys are, oh,
gentle.
they dress up so nice. Oh, they're such gentlemen. Oh, they dress up so nicely." And I go, "Yeah, I won't let them go out of the house you know, without
They
showering."
also say your boys are handsome. You didn't mention that. Because I did say, did I say
Of
that? I
course,
think I did.
they look like their parents.
They look Kiwis. Anyway, oh, Father's Day is coming up. Are they going to be
Yes.
joining church? They are always there with for the family. Eh?
Hopefully
Yeah,
they will. Hopefully they will. Yeah.
awesome.
It's a struggle. And now that they're above 21 years old, you know,
Oh, that's
they,
another
they
thing I would like to ask. Because
yes, yeah.
oh, you don't have a girl anyway. Because in the
No.
Philippines, when our girls
No.
are turning 18, we have that peer pressure that we have to celebrate in a grandeur way. Not really grandeur, but at least celebrate their
Mm,
18th birthday. But
mm.
here it's not 18th is not the debut, right? It's
Debut. Yeah, 18 is it. Well, they they only celebrate the 21st. It's only us the
girls or
Filipinos who do
boys,
that.
it's 21st.
21st. It's only us Filipinos who would celebrate the 18th birthday of our daughters. And I'm
Yeah,
like, I'm so glad I don't have one.
yeah. Good on you. Anyway, even my but boys are not really that into big celebrations. I don't know. My son is not
No,
when he turned
no,
21, it's just us
no, no.
eh,
It's only my eldest son that we
who
did
ask for it.
celebrate.
Ah,
No, he didn't ask for it, but it's more of like, oh, let's do something. You're turning 21. As much as we
mm,
wanted everybody to, as much as we wanted all three of them to celebrate their 21st, but the other
yes.
two chose something different. So I said, well, that's fine. That's
Mm,
that's what that's
yeah,
their choice.
yeah.
Yeah, that's their
Anyway,
choice.
are you looking forward to be a grand a nanny? You're not at 21, not 21, 25 years old.
25.
Yeah,
Hey,
not looking forward.
whenever, whenever. Not yet. I'm not in that stage yet.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. For me, I would encourage my son, but no pressure.
No pressure. That's what I told him. I said, "When are you gonna get married?" He said, uh, "I still have years to go." And I go, "Please, don't give me grandchildren when I'm 70. I won't enjoy them."
Yeah. True. And
Yeah,
that's why, yeah, probably this is the right time, especially for you at 25 years old or somewhere few more years.
few
Yeah,
more years.
few more years.
Yeah, a few
No
more
rush.
years because he wants to be a forensic scientist. So I'll give him that.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Anyway, thanks so much for sharing, for your time, Angel.
Thank
And
you.
say thank you to Dennis as well for lending you to us right now. We're supposed to be spending time together. And I know you have something else to do, but once again, thank you
Hey,
and hope to
thank
see you
you.
soon on
Thank
Sunday.
you. Anytime. See you on Sunday. Bye. God
Bye.
bless. Thank you.
There you have it. Raising kids doesn't have to be difficult or a struggle, but we can't help it at times when we are not aware of the expectations here in New Zealand, especially the law. So be careful with that. 14 years and younger, you should not leave them alone. I know we have our own experience when we were raising our kids here. That was a bit scary as well when you do smack them, but because we want to straighten their path, and sometimes uh, uh, I don't know how to say this properly, but we have to be firm with our values and we have to show them that we value our values even though we are in a different country. So again, value your culture, your tradition. If there's not much needed to be changed, or if it's still up to you as a parent, because in the case of Angel, the Manupo wasn't her upbringing, so she didn't pass it on to her kids. But values are very important, like how do you respect the elders, how do you respect other people, how do you live your life according to what is expected of you in the society, because you don't live on your own. And language, I would say, even though we're here in New Zealand, although I have that mindset before that we have to change to English now, but I have been taught in our school that we have to value our language. So we still keep our language at home. I mostly speak in English at home, but from time to time, I speak Ilonggo as my first language. Tagalog when I go out and meet Filipino friends. And yeah, do the same thing, especially when your kids are just growing up here. I had that mindset that I have to teach them English, but then later on, they actually adjust and learn quickly than us. So, weigh up things. For me as a parent, the values that I've been brought up is very important. I have to pass on to my kids. Do the same thing. Value what you want to value. And even though you're in a different country, you don't have to change your identity entirely. You can adjust and adapt to what is needed without forgetting who you are. Right. I hope you've learned a lot from what we've been talking about, and also the experiences and the knowledge that our resource speaker has shared with us. If you have learned something from our podcast today, feel free to send us a message, comment, or if you want to share more, PM me. And yeah, we'll see you again next time. Unfortunately, Regine wasn't able to join us today for some reasons, but definitely next time we'll see you. Both of us will be together again in the same podcast. We'll be talking more about settling, shining, and succeeding in New Zealand. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, especially with your little ones. Spend more time with them. Ka kite!